There we go. I think that'll work. Hey, Susan. 1 second here. One second. How is everyone doing tonight? This is the 12th and last night of the 12 days of Christmas and reading Christmas stories. Let's see here. I'm just putting out this to some people. Yeah, let's see. One second. Almost done. All right. It's crazy. Like the video on YouTube, it's like kind of trippy. But the iPhone is like, they got it all figured out. Here, 1 second. Hey, John. I am sorry I didn't make it to see you guys today. I ran out of time, and plus just everything going on here at the farm just made it really difficult. So, but I'll get out to see you guys this week coming up, or this weekend after I fix the water and the heat and all that. So, got to pick my priorities. All right. I always wait a few minutes, and like 5 minutes, to see who gets on here, and then I'll start reading. Got some really great books for tonight. This is the last night of the Farmly Man reading of Christmas stories. 12 days of this. I think there was, my throat's a little raspy. I think it's because of the temperatures and all that. So don't judge. It should be hot tea, but I had time to make it because I had to race home, and then I got to go back out again and get water because I'm still out of water. I found out what happened today, and my well house. Hey, Nicolette. And I can get parts tomorrow for it, but I can't fix it until Wednesday because that's when the temperatures get like around 50 degrees, 60 degrees, because my glue won't dry. And then hopefully figure out my heating and air. I'm hoping it's just um, what was I thinking? It was a capacitor. So, and then it'll be fixed. But until then, I'm going to read. Oh, and then, so yes. So it's always been in front of the Christmas tree. But because I have no heat in my house, my bedroom is the warmest part of the house because that's the only place I have a heater, a little space heater. So y'all get to see me in my PJs here, and not down by the Christmas tree, and my Liberty overalls, which love them. And so I think I will get started actually. So 5 minutes in, and whoever joins at that point can catch up. But it's great having everybody here. Thank you for joining. The typical saying here is like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I'm hoping maybe even next year I get to do this too. But we'll see what happens. but I'm glad to make it through 12 days. I think I missed 3 days total out of the 12, but don't judge me. I tried my best. And so tonight, got some really cool books. And thanks to the library, the local library, the Stokely Memorial Library and the Parrotsville Library, I got 28 books total of Christmas books. So sorry, kids, if you didn't have the books to check out, because I have them. If you listen to the Barnley Man, you don't need to check them out. I'll read them to you. But hi, TNT04. Thanks for joining. And so yeah, I took all the Christmas books from the libraries. But so I have the 12 Days of Christmas. These are the last 2 final books I'm going to read here on Christmas Day. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I hope everyone got what they wanted. But, you know, Christmas is not always about gifts. It's about being with the special people in your lives and enjoying their time and giving thanks for what Christmas is. So, but I am. Let me turn this off here, and there we go. Let me do this too, just in case I get all these scam or spam calls, and it's just like it drives me nuts. But let's see what happens here. There we go. All right, everybody. An update real quick. I'll give an update on the cold flash that we had. So broken pipes in the well house. The heating's not working, but the animals are safe, happy. The baby goats are doing great. They're hopping around everywhere. I'll go check on them after this and make sure they all have fresh water. Degrees outside, but it did warm up to 28, 30 degrees today, which it was like 60 degrees because it's a big difference between that and -5. And so all the animals are good. The chickens are great. Here after this as well. They tuck themselves away as soon as it gets dark anyway. But lock everything up and then go check on the goats. And Kira, she's spoiled rotten. She's over there on her dog bed on her heating pad, and she is all warm and toasty and just spoiled rotten. So, but so all the animals are great, and we made it through this crazy weather. But yeah, let's get started on a book. So the 12 Days of Christmas, like I said, I got this one, and then this is like everyone's favorite, it seems like, but the Polar Express. Sorry, there's a plastic film on this, and it basically shines with the light. But the Polar Express. So I'll read that last, but the 12 Days of Christmas. Let's read this. And again, everybody, thank you for coming on board. And know it's Christmas, and I'm hoping one day I have kids listening to this, because that's the whole purpose of why I was doing it. Not that I don't mind reading to y'all, because we're all big kids at heart. And bear with me, because my throat, I'm basically losing it or catching some kind of cold. And yes, I know, I tell everybody you should drink hot tea, hot lemon tea, and apple cider vinegar, and fresh honey, and echinacea, and who knows what else put in it. I haven't done that. Well, I did it last night, but I have not had any today. And I need to, because I don't want to get sick. And it works wonders. Right, Nicolette? Yep. All right, y'all, let's get started with this. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. The illustrations are beautiful in this, and I'll show you afterwards. We'll just keep it rolling. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. I almost want to sing it because it's a song, right? On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. I want some French hens. I want some more. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Should have this almost memorized, because I've heard this song so many times growing up as a kid and throughout life, right? On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, and a pear tree. Eighth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 lords of leaping. Yes, Kira? Really? Oh, I have a dog that. Let it out. Sing, let it out. My voice. I'm losing my voice. Sorry, Bev. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, you guys don't want to hear me sing. I'm just going to read this. So you can sing all you want. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 collie birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. And see, they even have the notes in the back. So for those musically talented individuals, if you want to go out there and play the piano and knock some ivory, you go at it. And sing and sing and sing. But yeah, beautiful illustrations in this book. Let me show you some of these illustrations. So someone has definitely a great imagination and great artistic skills. That's great. All right, so I saved the best for last. It's brief of the 12 days. I don't know what got into me to do this 12 days of Christmas reading, but I thought it'd be cool. Something to add to the Farmly Man channel, something fun. So I've had people follow along through most of it, if not all of it, and it's much appreciated. And again, you always wish that the kids were, following along as well. Let me, 1 second, everyone, don't go anywhere. I got to reach out to. YouTube. It's reconnecting. All right. So let's go ahead and a Polar Express. Kind of everyone's favorite. The movie was amazing. I like the movie. Hey, Mama. See, she made it. On Christmas Eve many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound a friend had told me I'd never hear, the ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend had insisted. But I knew he was wrong. Late that night I did hear sounds, though not of ringing bells. From outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest and then looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe, and I tiptoed downstairs out the door. All aboard, the conductor cried out. I ran up to him. Well, he said, are you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course, was his answer. This is the Polar Express. I took his unstretched hand and he pulled me aboard. I mean, if Santa sent the train for me to hop on, I'd go. I would go in a heartbeat. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candies with nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as the melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of towns and villages flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced northward. Hey, Martin. Thanks for joining. Russell, thank you. We're reading the Polar Express. Soon there were no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forest where lean wolves roamed and white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness. We climbed mountains so high it seemed as if we would scrape the moon. But the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on the roller coaster. That'd be a fun train to ride, let me tell you. The mountains turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. We crossed a barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. There, said the conductor, is the North Pole. The North Pole. It was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. They are gathering at the center of the city, the conductor told us. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas. Who receives the first gift? We all asked. The conductor answered, he will choose one of you. That's pretty cool. Look, shouted one of the children, the elves! Outside, we saw hundreds of elves. As the train drew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no further, we stopped and the conductor led us outside. We pressed through the crowd to the edge of the large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and they paced, ringing the silver bells that hung from their harnesses. It was a magical sound, like nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart and Santa Claus appeared. The elves, the elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and pointing to me and said, let's have the fellow here. He jumped into the sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee and he asked, now, what would you like for Christmas? I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. When he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from the reindeer's harness, the elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood holding the bell high above him and called out, the first gift of Christmas. A clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Sorry. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us and then disappeared in the cold, dark polar sky. Merry Christmas, Martin. Merry Christmas. Hope everyone had a great Christmas too. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost a silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh. Let's hurry outside and look for it, one of the children said, but the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. He lost his bell. That's all he wanted was a bell. Just maybe, there might be a Christmas miracle. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. What? I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. Merry Christmas, he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found the tree. It had my name on it. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C. I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard a sound. It's only for kids to hear. So it wasn't broken. Hi, Alana. Welcome. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe. The end. What an amazing read. Polo Express. It's always a great story. Let's see what 28 minutes. Well, I could read one more. I can always do like a repeat, and I'll let you all chime in. So it's either How Santa Got His Job, Rudolph. Man, that's a classic, right? And thanks to Bev, Frosty the Snowman. Does anybody want to hear one of these three? Or do you want to hear about goats and chickens and my working dog, Kira, that won't stop barking? And actually, can everyone see me and hear me okay? Because I just kind of yap on this and hope that my internet is working. Thanks, Mama. All right, so Terry and Bev looks like Rudolph. All right. I lost everybody. Goats. Actually, here. Where? How can I wonder if I can send. Oh, yeah, I can. This is this morning, actually. Let's see here. Where's my little buddies at? One second here, and you got some goats coming. There you go. That little nugget right there. That's like a part llama or alpaca. Hey, Susan. Thanks for coming back on board. Nice to have you. And yeah, Polar Express is a great book. Great movie too. I think Tom Hanks. It might be an older version of Polar Express out there, but the newer version has Tom Hanks in it. Great actor. And I've had the chance and blessing to meet him in person. Actually, really nice guy. So I'm going to read Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and yeah, let's see if we can pick another. Choose a different. Let's see. Look at these little nuggets. They're cute, man. They got lots of energy. The goats are good. So it warmed up today. So Norman, I let the bucks out and just kind of wonder. I'm still waiting for my electric fence energizer to get fixed because it stopped working on me. So the co-op runs a little slow around here, and it's been like 4 weeks now with no energizer, or 5 weeks, so no electric fence. So I don't let them all out because I need to divide the bucks from the does and the wether. But they're all good. I did bring Norman inside yesterday because it got way too cold, and his hair is thinned out, so he was shivering a little bit there. So I brought him inside. But as for the babies and the mama, she kept good care of them, and so as of right now, I'm going to go back out and give them some fresh, warm water to their cold ice buckets. But they're happy. They got to go out and about today for a little bit and stretch their legs. And the chickens are just chickens. They get to kind of roam and do their thing. And if they're too cold, they'll go back into the coop. So they put themselves to bed, which is quite nice. But I've gotten 2 frozen eggs. And actually, I put an egg in my pocket yesterday, and with everything going on, I forgot about it. It thawed out. Put my hand in my pocket, and it was full of egg goo. So it's farm life. But so yeah, so it's the goats and the chickens are good. Kira, as you could hear her earlier, is bossy and happy as a clam. And so she's out sitting by the stairs because she doesn't like my reading. She thinks it's painful and hurts her ears. But so let's read Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And then my voice is going to be done. I think I'm catching a cold, which I haven't been sick since 2019, and I don't want to be sick. So, but I'll go down and fix me some tea. But so Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Once there was a reindeer named Rudolph who lived at the North Pole in Toyland. Rudolph was younger and smaller than all the other reindeer there. They all had proud, tall antlers, and Rudolph's antlers were only tiny stubs. We call those spikes. Worst of all, Rudolph had a nose that was big and bright and red. It was so red it glowed in the dark. Poor Rudolph. He wanted to be like the other reindeer in Toyland. Oh, to have a small brown nose instead of a big, bright red one. The other reindeer made fun of Rudolph and called him names. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they teased over and over again until tears glistened from Rudolph's large red nose. Glistened on Rudolph's large red nose. They kicked up snowballs with their tiny hooves and covered Rudolph with a blanket of white fluffy snow. Sometimes the other reindeer made a circle around Rudolph and sang, red nose, a funny sight, big as an apple and twice as bright. All the reindeer loved to play games. They played tree tag and snow slide and tumble bones. But Rudolph was never asked to play. He stood behind a pine tree and watched. He was very lonely. Rudolph couldn't even play hide and seek with the rabbits. His glowing red nose gave him away every time. Before Christmas Eve, Santa's elves posted a sign on the gate to Toyland. Santa's team choosing time, the sign said. All the reindeer were asked to line up at 8 o'clock in the meadow. Santa Claus was coming to choose the team that would deliver presents to every good little boy and girl in the world. The reindeer fairly danced with excitement as when they heard the news. They pranced and tossed their antlers and pawed the snowy ground with their hooves. Each reindeer hoped he would be chosen to guide Santa's sleigh. It was the greatest honor a reindeer could ever have. Rudolph sighed. He was ashamed to have Santa see his bright red nose, so he decided to hide. Poor Rudolph. In the meadow, all the reindeer in Toyland except Rudolph stood in line while Santa inspected them. Santa chose carefully. Only the fastest, the strongest, and the best reindeer would do. I think Dasher will be fine. He's the biggest reindeer, Santa said. Dasher wrote his elf assistant in a big book. And Dancer is the strongest, said Santa, pulling his beard. Dancer, wrote the elf. I see you, Kira. Don't be barking at me either. I'm almost done. Ho, ho, let's see, continued Santa. Here's Prancer and here's Vixen. They make the smoothest landings on rooftops. Comet is the fastest and Cupid is the most sure-footed, said Santa. I picked them. And last, says Santa, I choose Donder and Blitzen. They're the best at twisting over treetops and skimming over telephone poles. The reindeer and Santa's team were very happy. Noses, they danced and clinked their antlers together. Even the reindeer who weren't chosen were given good jobs. One was to try out an electric train. Another was to cuddle Christmas kittens. Who wants Christmas kittens? Hey, Bradley. It's never too late. Thanks for joining. The only reindeer without a job was Rudolph. He wanted to help, but he knew he would be laughed at. At last, it was Christmas Eve. Santa and his elves were busy packing the sleigh. I don't care if they help too. They'll get thirsty on their long journey. The night was bitter cold, and a terrible fog covered all the earth. Santa's elves kept bumping into each other as they hitched up the team. They could hardly see as they put on each bright red harness and tied each jingle bell. To make matters worse, Dasher and Dancer were fighting over who would lead the reindeer. I was chosen first, said Dasher, stamping angrily. But you always trip over the moon, said Dancer, kicking a falling star. Even Santa was cross. Well, never get there if you don't stop quarreling, he said. And where is my Christmas list? Dash it all, I can't see a thing in this fog. Something tells me that Rudolph is going to get a job. Just then a soft red glow lit up the snow. Thank goodness, said Santa, suddenly jolly again. I found my list. Ho, ho, and I must have tucked it in my belt. Who brought this fine lantern? Asked Santa. I must take it with me. Why, I can see perfectly now. It's not a lantern, said Rudolph, trembling. The light comes from my nose. Bradley, I don't see your name on there, bud. You're not on that list. I'm sure you got lots of coal today in your stockings. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, said Santa. I'm certainly glad to see you. Your light will guide my sleigh tonight. I appoint you head of my team and number one reindeer in all the world. Rudolph held his head high. Proudly he pranced to the front of the team. All the other reindeer bowed, and Donder and Dancer helped Rudolph put on his harness, and Cupid gave him a beautiful sprig of holly berries. Then down, down through the clouds and over the sleeping houses, Santa and his team flew on that foggy Christmas Eve. And leading the whole procession was Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. So if you see a soft glow in the sky on Christmas Eve, you can be sure that Rudolph, the most famous reindeer of all, is very near. The end. Hope you all enjoyed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I want to say that I've read probably 20 plus books during this 12 days of Christmas, and I want to thank everybody for joining and being part of this. Friends and family. Hope next year, if I do it, I get more kids. I want more kids involved. I want them to hear the stories being read. But like, subscribe, share, comment. The Tennessee Dreamin' is a YouTube channel that I have, and that's the whole process of leaving California and coming to Tennessee and how I found the place I'm at and the ebbs and flows of moving 28 years of my life across the country to this beautiful area, the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee. And the Farmly Man, I'll stop you making me blush. The Farmly Man is YouTube channel as well, and that started out with just shorts and kind of about the little things I'm doing around here on the homestead. And but I do have features that I have to finish editing, so I'd like to be able to have longer features on the Farmly Man, and I have a lot of things recorded. But you can find the Farmly Man and Tennessee Dreamin' the same channel on Instagram, and then I have separate channels on YouTube. So if you all want to grab some popcorn and be entertained, then Tennessee Dreamin' is longer videos and edited and so forth. So taught myself all that. Skillshare actually taught me all that, and just kind of trial and error. So if you want to do something fun for your kids or even for yourself, Skillshare.com. And I'm not being, they don't give me anything for saying this. It's just that it's a great company that's helped me out a lot with learning how to do editing, software editing, and Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Premiere Rush, and YouTube. So as well as YouTube University. Everyone knows YouTube University, and that's free. But yeah, check them out. And again, thanks everybody for taking the time listen to my stories. So, and have a very, very safe and Merry Christmas. It's not over with yet. If you're out there driving or going to be out there driving, be careful, stay warm, unless you're in California, because I think it was like 70 degrees today. And again, like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Stay in touch, and you'll see some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline here for the Farmly Man. Don't know when Tennessee Dreamin' will start back up again, but for right now, the Farmly Man is the main channel on YouTube and Instagram. All right, y'all. Have a Merry Christmas, and thank you again, and have a good night. And stay tuned for more baby goats. Baby goats are coming here in the coming days. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm glad I can just put smiles on everyone's faces. And so, Belinda, sorry I got here. You got here late and all, but if you want to follow along, Tennessee Dreamin' and the Farmly Man on Instagram and YouTube. So, all right, y'all. Merry Christmas, and I'll be posting some baby goats here, probably even tonight. Once I get out there, it'll be dark out, but I have my headlamp on. And oh, poor connection. There we go. So stay tuned for more baby goats. Anyway, I'm out, guys. Later. Merry Christmas. And if I don't talk to anyone, Happy New Year. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.